Hello there ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? It's Alexander Hilly123 here and it's time for a new video. It is time for a new pickups video today, as we can see from the title. My first since the 1st of July, just 2.5 months ago, and it is time for a new one of course. Today I've got 5 pickups to show you guys, 4 on the Xbox One, 1 on the PlayStation 4, 3 of them are physical, 2 of them are digital. And there's a few games that disappointed me here, and there's a few games that I've absolutely adored, and there's also a few games I've yet to actually start on. But yeah, I've got to say just before I begin that I am not a floating body. My body is below my head. Hello, it kind of looks like I'm a floating body here, or a floating head I should say. But it's just the position I'm sat on my bed. I don't like sitting upright, I really don't. That's going to be a problem for me in the future with back problems, no doubt. But anyway, first of all, I always show you guys the games in the order that I purchased them, and it is Sniper Elite 3 first of all. I'm not sure if I actually mentioned it on a prior pickups video, maybe even years and years and years ago, but a long time ago I got Sniper Elite 2 for free on the Xbox Live Games for Gold, and I never played it up until about 5 or 6 months ago. And I thoroughly enjoyed it, so naturally I thought I would enjoy Sniper Elite 3. It was a quirky game, it wasn't exactly an amazing game, the controls were pretty difficult to get to grips with, but it was a lot of fun. The story was kind of silly, but I enjoyed it, and the X-ray kills, shooting Nazis in the bollocks, it was awesome. Sniper Elite 3, however, I played about 25% of the game, and I simply stopped. Why did I stop? Because they made the game more open world, they included a map. The first couple of missions really pissed me off because there was one in particular in a desert kind of area where it just didn't tell me what to do and I was raging. And sometimes if I play a game for the first time and I'm in a particular bad mood, it really does leave a bad taste in my mouth, and it might be my fault, but I blame the game. And I do kind of get the feeling that this game suffered as a consequence from that. But I was annoyed by it genuinely, regardless of my mood. Mainly due to the fact that I feel in Sniper Elite 3, you're kind of punished for using your sniper. Now I'm playing on normal difficulty here. Yet and still, on this game, there are things in every level which mask sound. Meaning that when you use your sniper, it shows you like an audio effect at the top of the screen. When that's there, you shoot your sniper, enemies from quite a distance away cannot hear the sniper shot go off. Yeah, it just feels like a stealth game. It's weird. You can go up to enemies from behind and choke them out or stab them, stealth kill kind of thing going on. I think you can do that. You've got a silencer as you did in the second game, but it just feels honestly like you are punished for using your sniper rifle. In the second game, you went into situations where enemies knew you were there, and it was like a forced fight, and I kind of enjoyed that. In this game, the enemies are like, they've got patterns, they're walking around, and you go into this situation, and you try and stay undetected, and you kill them. And I don't want that experience from Sniper Elite. Yet and still, this game looks better, it plays better than Sniper Elite 2, but I think I wanted a more straightforward, more linear experience, and what I got was a typical bigger environment and all this. And I can get to grips and enjoy certain open world games, but they're very particular, and I'm very particular, and I just didn't like this. It made me rage. But having said that, because of what Sniper Elite 2 was like for me, I may give it another chance. Anyway, next, ladies and gentlemen, is a game that I have loved, and I've got to talk quickly about this because I can talk about this for quite a while. It's been my game of 2017, and it's an old game. It's 3 old games. Hell, you know, I've just had a heck of a lot of fun. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy. And there's another game, another platformer from the 90s that came out and was reinvigorated this year, re-released, remastered. Well, it's kind of a fresh game and an old game in one. You might know what it is already. And I grew up with those games, and I grew up with the Crash games as well. But this has stolen the show, and I just have had a ton of fun. All 3 games, Crash 1, 2, 3, I've got probably over 50% of the trophies in all 3 games, quite a lot of them. Most that I'll get now, because the ones that I've not got are kind of like really rare on the PlayStation, like 2, 3, 4% of gamers have unlocked. I want to get the trophies for getting half of the gems in the game, and you collect all the boxes. Oh, fucking hell. Phone shit me up then. But after that, I'll probably just play it for fun in the future. But it's just been such a blast to play. The audio, the visuals. They've done a really good job, Vicarious Visions, of remastering the classic free Crash games. What I will say, however, is the first Crash Bandicoot game, it's the hardest, but I think it's the most fun still after all this time. But I don't know what they did, but they screwed up the jump for Crash, primarily in the first game. He does not jump high enough, and the hit detection and things like that will make you rage, but there's a lot of fantastic platforming genius to enjoy. And I think, having played them all now on the PlayStation 4, and I can't remember playing Crash Bandicoot 1 on the PS1. I do have 2 and 3, but I don't have the original. I think the first game is my favourite, followed by the third game, and I didn't enjoy the second game quite as much. Some of the levels, the one with the bees, oh my fucking god. I mean, the first game, some of the levels made me rage, I was nearly in tears, but the second game, the levels were more annoying. They weren't as hard, but they were annoying. And the third game, a lot of fun. It diversifies it up, crashes in the water, crashes racing. You got Coco as well. And there's a line from Cortex when you play the game, when you complete the game at the end, about him being on a desert island. And it is one of the funniest things. I was in tears laughing. I don't know if that was on the original PlayStation 1 game, but let's just say he was going to say big tits or something like that. Just Google it, search it, Cortex Crash Bandicoot 3 ending funny or something, and you'll probably find it. But very, very humorous. And I've got to say, I'm hoping that Sony put the Wrath of Cortex, I've got it on the PlayStation 2, but I hope they maybe not remaster the Wrath of Cortex, but make it available to be played on the PlayStation 4. Just touch it up a little bit and give a few trophies, because that was a fantastic game as well from what I remember. But yeah, Crash Bandicoot, insane trilogy, and I'm hoping that this comes to the Xbox One, because there are rumours it will do in December. And yeah, I'll buy it again just for the achievements and just to go through the experience again. Awesome. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, is the other, a kind of rival to Crash Bandicoot, but they never really fought each other out back in the day, because this man, he was already past his best. It's a digital pickup, so I can't show you guys, but it is none other than Sonic Mania. And I'm a huge Sonic fan. I made a one-off video, my first impressions of Sonic Mania, which was on Studiopolis Zone. And T. Lopez, the guy who did the sound, Christian Whitehead, the guy who made it all happen, and I think it's Zagota Games and something like that. A pretty small team, all things considered, but they did an absolutely fantastic job of things. And Sonic Mania, I prefer the Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. However, I don't think it's quite as good as Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles. Sonic & Knuckles is my favourite Sonic game, which is quite a controversial order. It goes Sonic & Knuckles, Sonic 3, Sonic Mania, Sonic 2, then Sonic 1. All those games I adore, they mean the world to me, but Sonic & Knuckles and Sonic 3 together is just a masterpiece, and it's one of the top 10 games of all time, in my personal opinion. But Sonic Mania, it kind of caters to the hardcore fans, I think. It's hard as fuck to get the emeralds, the blue sphere levels. There are 40, I think, altogether, and I've got about 30 now. The last 10 are insanely difficult as it gets faster, and you're trying to collect the blue spheres, and you run into reds, and there's tons of yellow springs, and there's just no way that I can do it. I've retried the levels so many times. The only way I'm going to learn to do them is by watching a video on YouTube and trying to find out how the fuck you do it, because it is so difficult. And I got the bad ending, because obviously the bad ending is where you're getting all the emeralds. I didn't get the good ending. I've got 3 emeralds now, but there's 7 altogether. The special stages are like a mixture of Sonic 2 and Sonic CD. The music in the game is absolutely astonishing. T. Lopez did a great job, and I've got goosebumps just thinking about it. I've unashamedly said before, all the Sonic music, not just from Sonic 1, 2, 3 and Knuckles, but Sonic CD as well, which is a fantastic soundtrack, especially on the Mega Drive version. They're still on my MP3, and when they come up on shuffle, I'll give them a listen. It just does something to my brain. It doesn't just transport me back to those days on the Mega Drive in the 90s when I was playing them. the fact of the matter is, it's a fantastic soundtrack to all those games, and the Mega Drive sound chip was very, very unique, and the kind of trancey and dancey house music and R&B and all sorts of things lent itself to Sonic and those old games. T. Lopez knocked it at the ballpark, like I said. Very, very impressed with him. The level designs were absolutely brilliant, some great set pieces. I love what they did with the older games, especially Green Hill Zone, Chemical Plant Zone. Flying Battery and Hydra City, they took some liberties. They made those levels much harder, especially Hydra City. Fucking hell. And that's probably one of my favourite Sonic levels ever. The new levels, Studiopolis is genius. Mirage Saloon's great. The Titanic Monarch level's good. I've never been too keen on Metallic Madness, and also Starlight Speedway, is it called? That level just gives me a headache. But overall, Sonic Mania, very solid, but I've got some issues with it that stop it being one of my favourite, games of all time or something like that. But I've got to complete the game as Knuckles. I've got to complete the game as Tails, and maybe then I will be able to form a full, proper opinion. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, 2 more games to show you. 1 physical, 1 digital. But these are the 2 games out of the 5 that I've not played yet, so I won't be talking for them for more than 30 seconds or so. First is Warhammer The End Times Vermintide. I have done the tutorial for this game that exists on the actual game itself, and I'm hopeful that this game is going to fill the void that has been left after Left 4 Dead. A lot of comparisons to Left 4 Dead gameplay wise, but the game world is totally different. You're talking goblins and giant rats, obviously, that's what the game's about, and wizards and elves and all this kind of shit, and that's not usually my bag, but the gameplay is a lot of fun, and I can't say much about this, just watched a bit online here and there, and it is kind of everything I just explained, Left 4 Dead-like. There's 4 of you, I do believe, but there's 5 characters altogether. They've all got the different traits and the different pros and cons, different weaponry, shit like that. And I played as this Scottish, I don't know what she is. Well, I'm just going to call her a witch, but I don't think she is. I don't know. Well, she might be, actually. There's a little elf as well, little dwarf, actually. But this seems really, really cool. The only bad thing for me is there's no offline mode. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I think you have to play online with other people. And it's just annoying, because I'll go into a game I've never played before, so I'm going to not have a fucking clue what I'm doing, and there'll be some douchebag on microphone calling me out, saying, "You suck, you fucking faggot, you fucking homo," blocking me and all this, and it's like, I ain't got time for this, dude. I'm 28 years old now. I'd just say it as a disclaimer, guys, I'm new, bear with me. The only way I'm going to get better is by playing it. I played The Last of Us multiplayer, and I never went back on it because it was so volatile and hostile. I could not believe it. It was horrible. Like, what the fuck are these people playing at? Get a grip on reality, man. All the smack talk and everything. I enjoy a victory much more after being humble, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yes, I do. But Warhammer Vermintide, The End Times, blah blah blah. Not got much to say about it yet, but I'm really hoping I enjoy it. And last but certainly not least, ladies and gentlemen, a game I purchased just tonight. Nothing else to say other than it's Little Nightmares. A kind of platforming horror game, if you will. I have no idea what it's going to be. I've kind of taken a gamble. I saw the good reviews when it came out. It's something different, and it's 30% off on the Xbox Live Store, so I got it digitally. But yeah, we'll see what it's like. I've got a week off work coming up, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm going to be playing Little Nightmares. I'm continuing to upload my Evil Within Akumu No Upgrade Keys run. It's getting absolutely no views whatsoever, which is heartbreaking, but my Walker's Crisps reviews are getting lots of views. YouTube in 2017, motherfuckers. MLG gameplay, one of the hardest difficulties in a video game ever. No views, even though I only get 7 deaths, which is fantastic on that difficulty. Talking about Crisp, 50 views. Anyway, there's going to be more Evil Within content to come. Haters going to hate, because with the second game just less than a month away now, I'm going to be uploading to YouTube without commentary my first Nightmare difficulty playthrough. Nightmare's available from the start of the game now. And then on Twitch I'm going to be streaming my first playthrough on the hardest difficulty of the game. I don't know what it's called yet. It's not a one-hit kill mode, but it limits saves and it limits resources. Oh, I cannot fucking wait. Anyway, thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll see you soon.